You can be whatever you want to be in life. Chase your dreams and you can make them a reality. That's what we are told is great parenting advice to tell your kids. It's what we see Instagram life coaches tell people the whole time. Chase your dreams. You can be whatever you set your mind to. Is that really true? Is it a healthy message to tell people? On the surface, it sounds very empowering. But let's just break it down a second. To what extent am I actually in control of the trajectory of my life? To what extent can I choose to become whatever I want to become? I can desperately want to be an A-list sports player, but if I get a knee injury, well, I'm stuffed. I can want to be all kinds of things, but life circumstances may prevent me. That doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't try and pursue things if there are, clear pathways to doing them. But sometimes we don't always get the results we want to, and sometimes life can get in the way. So telling people that you can be whatever you want to be, is that very empowering? What happens when life doesn't go the way you wanted it to? Sometimes this message could actually be setting people up for a great deal of stress and disappointment. And on top of that, a life that's just focused around me and my needs and my dream and my vision alone can end up making people quite isolated, quite miserable, because it's very me-focused. And the human being is always wanting to reach for something higher than just themselves. So what's the Jewish view on all of this? On telling our kids, you can be whatever you want to be. In Judaism, we say something very different, actually. We recognize that there is a creator, there is a master of the world. And of course, we can put in our efforts and try to do things, but the outcome of them, so much of which is really not determined by us. It's determined by him, by God. So what then is an empowering message if so much of my efforts, the fruit of my labors, is determined by God, not by me? What's the empowering message? In Judaism, we say the message is not to ask, what do I need? But to look around and see what is needed of me in the place that I find myself in. With the skills that I have, with the intellectual and emotional capacity that I have, with the ideals that I have, with the people that I'm surrounded by in my life. Not what do I need and what do I want, but what is needed of me? That question is always going to be an empowering question, because the answer will always demand proactiveness. Because for as long as I am breathing, there is always a question I can ask of what is needed of me right now. And actually it turns out that a life that asks less, what do I need, but rather what's needed of me, is so much more fulfilling for the human being, because it reaches beyond themselves and allows us to be of service to others and to the world. In the circumstances I find myself in, which I didn't choose, so it's not really my plan at stake, it's his plan at stake, it's his world at stake, how can I be of help? So it's still in some ways is a similar message of empowerment, but it's sort of flipping it on its head. It's saying, yes, of course, pursue the potential that you have, use the skills that you have to the best of your ability, harness everything around you in order to be as proactive and as positive a contribution that you can be to the world around you. But if things don't always go according to plan, re-examine your dream, re-examine the way things can go. Because for as long as the question is not about my needs and my end goal and my vision, but rather, okay, how can I fulfill the potential that I have in order to do what is needed of me in each circumstance, then you will always feel empowered and you will never be set up for disappointment. So what should we tell our kids? Yes, dream big. Yes, try and fulfill your potential to the max, but always be asking that question, not what do I want to be, but rather what is needed of me in every single circumstance in life. Because then when life has its various twists and turns, you will always feel empowered to be productive and to be a positive contribution to the world, which ultimately is what we are all seeking. I'm Ollie Anisfeld and you're watching JTV.